Hey, hey, Poodle fam, how we doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We are here July 12th already. We got Sasha on. Good to see you. Good to see you. We are back and live. It's this is our Wednesday therapy. Great things always happening with the community. It's good to be back with everyone. Let me check. Okay, I see that stream over there. I see that one streaming over there. I see levels. That means you can probably hear me. And I think we are good to go. We are rolling. Yeah. So, hey, Kanizer, Sasha, great to see people back on. I'm not gonna lie, last couple weeks where I did it and I was the only one on, it was lonely. It was lonely. So it's good to see guests on here. Um, so today's episode, we're gonna talk a little bit about kind of some of the basics stuff. Y- I like to mix a little bit of personal along with a little bit of business. So, you know, um, sadly to say, so my wife's grandmother is actually probably about to pass. She's been in the hospital for the last couple of days, and we're just waiting. It'll be any minute, any hour, and till it happens. So, uh, when you lose people, it makes you start thinking a lot, right? You say when you say goodbye to somebody. I almost entitled this meeting, saying goodbye, but then I didn't want anyone freaking out like I was leaving the project, so I didn't name it that. But as you say goodbye to someone who matters to you, hey, thanks, Sasha. Um, it's interesting the things you think about, and you always remember the little things. You remember the football game that you watched together, or the Christmas dinner that you had one time. It's always the things. It's the moments that you didn't think were important at the time. Really were the ones that were important when you remember back. Um, and people who've lost someone kind of recognize that, right? You think about your signature moments in life where you all went on vacation together, you graduated or whatever. And those are the things, like those milestone things that you think of that are you think are important, the things you're going to talk about during special moments, but in fact they're not, right? It's the little moments, the little things that just kind of pass by that are the ones that you really do think about. And it's just the fun times, the little times, we would call the meaningless times, the day to day, the average times, and those are the ones that are the little things that you do remember. And that got me thinking about, how does that apply to what we do? Um, because it is important, as we start looking at our at our token, when you're a crypto investor, um it's and I warned about this all the time. It's really easy to get overwhelmed or overreact. I think actually a lot of people overreact. um yeah, Sasha, true. You think about the times you all laugh together, and it's funny, but it's funny, but it's not. Like, I don't know. But just it's those things to cherish, right? But when you put it then to crypto, and I always say this is how many people overreact, and you see it on the Telegram. Like people think that if you check your wallet and you're not a billionaire tomorrow, that something is wrong. Or if you don't get a random update about a project we're working on, then something is wrong. Well, that's not the case. It's not the case at all. Um, we are, I don't know the best way to say it. When you're an investor, and especially a crypto investor, there are certain things that you want to remember. And it's easy when you're sitting on the Telegram or you're watching on Twitter or you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, and you feel like, oh, somebody sold 10 billion tokens, so therefore the world is falling, which it's not, right? But we can create these conversations that start to get overwhelming, um, and you make more of something than it really is. And that's one of the things I always see so much in crypto is people making more out of something than it is. Even when I talked about a couple weeks ago how, rumors going around that I'd left the project just because I'd taken, had a couple of weeks off. And, a couple of things didn't get posted. So all of a sudden, rumors take over, things start happening, people start freaking out. It's like, are you kidding me? In the grand scheme of things, where we've been around for over 2 years, because you have this information for a day, you're going to overreact about it. Well, that's what happens a lot in crypto, sadly. And the thing is, I will make a very bold statement here that the only reason that crypto is not the world standard right now, this minute, is because of meme coins and altcoin owners. It is our own fault. If we would act grown up and act like we were true investors, the world wants crypto to be a standard. They want to step in. They want it to be taken over. But it's because of the immaturity of the average investor that actually stops us. Actually, I shouldn't even say the average investor. The average investor just buys Bitcoin and sits on it. And that's actually wise, right? Or buys your poodle and sits on it. But, it's the fanatical crypto people who freak out about everything, or are always looking for the next long shot to take it. And that becomes our own worst enemy. We are our own worst enemy. And I can guarantee you that if we acted like and remembered the things that are important, we could take over. Crypto could be the global standard. Because as we know, none of the major world currencies are currently based on anything. We're off the gold standard, right? And so there's no reason that crypto could not be the standard upon which we do everything. And that's where it means that we have to do something, that we need to actually act like true investors. So I'm going to give you a few of the, just maybe 5 or 10 little points to think about, just to remember the little things that matter. Again, the little things that matter. And I guarantee you, if you kind of follow these, you will be a much happier investor. And let me kind of side note and say, even as I've been busy, I've taken some, personal time off, done some, all that stuff. When I stop looking at my wallet every day, I become so much happier. Yeah, I look, and every now and then if it opens up and it's down a little bit, whatever. But then I open it up and it's up a bit, like it is today. If not getting overwhelmed with it and checking it every 2 seconds and thinking the world is going to die and everything is going to blow up is important. And that really kind of leads me to my first little thing, that little thing to remember. And that's never, ever, ever invest more than you can afford to lose, right? This is an investment, but it is also not your 401k. It is not your retirement. And I know we love to say, Poodle is my retirement, and I believe that we will take off, but it is not a retirement account. And I think you want to remember that. If you are as long as you are not putting in more than you can afford to lose, and then that means all your gains and everything that happens is bonus, right? Let's say you put money in, you lost it all, but you put in something that you did not mind losing, then it doesn't matter. It's the same as going out to dinner. Sometimes you buy an expensive dinner. You could have gone to McDonald's, but yet you went to Shea, blah, 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 and spent hundreds more. Well, the fact is both were just a meal, right? And in the end, it didn't affect you. Well, you need to look at crypto that same way, remembering you do not ever want to invest more than you can afford to lose. Does not mean you're going to lose it all. And in fact, we believe that we will be able to retire on our Poodle and total investment. And I do dollar cost averaging. We've talked about it. I invest every single month. I throw more money in. Whether it's up, down, left, right, who cares? All I do is keep throwing it in and letting it do its thing. But I'm not taking the money that I need to pay bills. I'm not taking my mortgage and putting it into crypto. So therefore, I don't have to freak out when the market changes. When the market booms, I don't have to start chasing and FOMOing I'm going to miss something. When it falls, I'm not going to freak out that I can't pay any of my bills. That is the number one thing, because again, going back to how we can make crypto the global standard, we need to act like good investors. You can't freak out. You can't have FOMO. You can't let yourself be, caught up in all of the things that you see, the news, the this, the so-and-so did that, the rumor about this or the rumor about that. And I always think that people who put money in that they shouldn't are likely the ones who overreact. I can, yeah, DCA and hold it. The less supply, the better for us holder. Exactly. I look at that and I look at my poodle bag and I look at how it's growing each month. Each month it gets bigger and bigger, which means I'm changing supply and demand. And that's actually kind of takes it to another little thing to remember. Value of a token is based on supply and demand. The more people who want it, which means the work we do, the shilling we do, the back end utility development, the teamwork, right? The supporting the community makes this demand higher. But as we dollar cost average, we also make the supply smaller. If you hold and hold, then we're decreasing the supply. As long as the actions we take then increase the demand, you now see the value of your token go up, and it will go up every single day. And that's really the key. So remember that. Dollar cost average with money you can afford to lose, that it doesn't matter, because I've done it. It's funny how, I kind of buy on the same day each week or each month, and it's just kind of the way I do it. And then the next thing I'll see is that it will, I don't know what the right word is. Maybe it'll drop by 20% the next day. And I'll be like, damn it, if I just waited a day. But then, the next day it's up by 30%. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't matter, because dollar cost averaging is the wisest way to invest overall anyway. So those are your kind of first 2 points. So far, obviously, money you can afford to lose, which makes you not freak out at all of the rumors and gossip and news and all of that stuff and any controversy that comes. Also, it stops you from FOMOing on when things shoot up, thinking that you're going to miss out or whatever. Dollar cost averaging is the best way to throw money into it in order to continue to build your bag. Those are the big things. The next thing I want to say is there are very few people who KYC themselves, like me, who put themselves out there. You see who they are. We are proud to be a token where we are public people. You can see who we are. You can track us down. You know that we are true, integrity behind who we are. We have doxed ourselves, as it's called, putting ourselves out there publicly. There is no surprise who we are. Now, we have to understand, squeeze in here, that is not how a lot of crypto works. A lot of it, especially like in NFTs, NFTs are famous for this. Crypto is famous for this, is living behind an avatar. You have no idea who it is. Think of the early days of, chat online, right? Those, you don't know who those people are. And that is, that's the tough part about it. So, what you want to make sure of is that you don't trust, but instead verify. If someone says who they are, or something is too good to be true, or they're swearing to you about something else, or they're reaching out to you, DMing you, saying they're an admin and they have this special project thing and they want you involved, don't trust it, okay? Because the people who are out there publicly have something to lose. People who are private have very little to lose. So verify, find out who they are. I know that there's a fear of missing out. There's a fear that, oh my gosh, I have to be able to buy in my one BNB's worth or whatever it is by X date, or I lose out on the pre-launch this or that or whatever. You know what? I would rather miss out on one thing than to lose my money to a scammer. And especially, you got to be careful with those your seed phrases and your wallet access. You'd be amazed how many times if you sign in to something using your wallet, you are giving that thing you're signing into access to your wallet. I think people don't realize that. They treat their seed phrases, they treat their logging in with their wallets, their digital signatures, kind of like an online password. Well, it's more than that. It's all of your money. And as soon as you sign in with something, they have the opportunity to snag it from you. So you want to make sure that you take care of how you use your own personal identity, and that those you're signing into, those you are sending money to, those you are investing with, you can verify who they are. I can't make you a promise that we're going to moon tomorrow. I know that the work that we're doing, and everyone who's part of this project realizes the strength that we've had, how long we've been doing this, how much work we're doing. We can't promise a moon tomorrow, but we can promise you integrity of who we are. We can promise that, you know who I am. You know that I believe in this project 111 weeks, 111 episodes through, and, that there is no other thought, as to whether or not you can trust us as people, which should help you trust the project. And that's what I'm going to say to my next thing, is recognize it is very, very easy to launch a new crypto. Extremely easy. Copy and paste some code and it is launched and, out there. So trust the project, trust the team. Not just because you saw something was a launch or just because you saw a price. I think a lot of people think, oh, well, price, in a way, let me say this, let's say just because, let's say something is selling for $1 doesn't mean that it's necessarily a better investment than buying Bitcoin at 50 grand, right? Because something at $1 can drop to a penny. Bitcoin can go from 50 grand to 150. One's losing 99% of your value, and the other would be gaining 3 times, right? Just because of what it says it is doesn't mean that it's necessarily a great value. It is very easy to create a crypto. So what you want to do is you check the team and then look at the value versus the work. I look at right now with our token, we have the best value behind any project, I would say, because by coming in at this point, you have the most potential for growth as we start to eat those zeros and we continue to, grow the project, its influence, and people come into it. So eating the zeros is a great, great way to earn extra money, but also realize it's not the price that matters. It's the project and the team, the utility, and the direction that matters. Right? That's another one of the little things. I think a lot of people get caught up in movement. And I'm not going to lie. If we have a few green candle days, we do it too. If we have a few green candle days, we are going to go shill that we're going up, right? And, because of course we're happy when we gain. But the fact is, it's not price that makes a project. It's the people that makes the project. It's the utility that makes the project. It's what they're working on. It's all of those things go to build the value behind what you're investing in, right? And to recognize, again, you might buy something, but you don't control it if you go to any other regular crypto. So, we're a community token, so you have say in what we're doing. But just as quickly as someone could start a crypto, how quickly they can abandon it. So you want to look at how long have they been around? What's the work they've been doing? We've been around for more than 2 years, doing work, putting in the work, being strong, and doing it every single day. That means something, right? That because if someone were to launch and it didn't go how we thought, they just shut it down. Hopefully they'll send you some of your money back. And I've been part of those projects where, you know what, it was a good shot, it didn't work. Here's your, here's what you helped us put into, liquidity. You know what? That's great. I might have lost whatever else. But there's respect to that. But what you want to recognize is those who have been around are dedicated to it. And that's one of the most biggest keys to whether or not you think your investment can be a long-term investment. You have to know that it's going to be around. I mean, like, being honest, it can't be a long-term investment unless it's going to be around for a long term, right? And not many tokens can say that, especially as we went through the bear market. How many kept working, how many kept putting in the work every single day. So those are a handful of things. I'm trying to think of that I want you to really think about. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing and we're working on. The token is going strong. I love it. We've got some great stuff going behind the scenes. You really want to recognize that we're at a changing point here in crypto. We are going strong, both in Poodle and our Poodle exchange token. And again, remember the little things here, the little things that matter. Every day I think back, if I even think to my community here, my favorite times in the token weren't necessarily the days we pumped or what we did. I think about the times the family came together to support me. The Poodle fam is my weekly therapy here. And I think that that's really the most important thing. One thing that no other token can swear to is having the best community of people, right? Don't give in to whatever the news says about crypto. We know it's the future. If you believe in the power of the blockchain, just trust it. Trust it, put in the work you can do as part of the team, and we're all going to be winners in the end. We're all going to come ahead in the end. So I think that those are the little things I want you to remember. Hopefully it's helped you out and you got to kind of rethink about things that's easy to forget about, especially in bear markets, especially in times where, there's market volatility. But we are on the right path. I'm really excited about everything. Hopefully you saw the article that came out last week about the Poodlcast on Business News. So that was nice. It also got me back to remembering the little things that made this show successful. We're giving you pointers to be successful. And so that's what I wanted to do today too, is give you those pointers to help you be successful. So thank you everyone for joining the show. You all have a great, great week. We will see you back next week live 167 and a half hours from now. Have a great one, Poodle fam. Love you, Poodle fam.